across the South and then come knocking on Congress's door to demand handouts from those same people. Roberts needs to answer for this court, its role in our system, and whether or not the court is compatible with a healthy democracy. We are here today because the Supreme Court's Calais decision made one thing clear. Incremental change is not enough. We need a serious plan. The people are demanding more, and that is why we are here today. We are going to get started. We have an excellent lineup of speakers today who understand the gravity of this problem and how to fight back and how we can win this fight. And I'm so excited to introduce our first speaker, who has spent years exposing the dark money operation behind the Supreme Court. I think he's Leonard Leo's top nightmare, maybe, I don't know. I'm very proud to introduce Sheldon Whitehouse from Rhode Island. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for coming out today to do our civic duty of protesting things that are wrong in this country. The Calais decision does two things. First of all, it stands the Supreme Court before the United States naked as a partisan institution of power. This is the second time they have done this. In Shelby County, they said, don't worry, everything's changed. You don't need to worry about legislators creating race-based voter suppression laws. And they lifted the protection against that. And what immediately happened was that hundreds of race-based voter suppression laws then passed. Those acts made it clear what the motive was and what was going on at the Supreme Court. Here you have Shelby 2.0. They make their decision, and instantly across the South, even interrupting elections, Republican governments move to undo districts that supported Democrats. This court has exalted partisan gerrymandering, and it's part of a pattern. If you look at all their elections decisions, every one has the effect of helping the Republican Party. If you look at all their regulatory decisions, every one has the effect of helping the fossil fuel industry that funds the Republican Party. You can predict with perfect certainty what happens. So that's the first thing that Calais did. It stood this court naked before the country as a partisan institution. The second thing that it's going to do is that it is going to drive up voter participation. This makes voters angry. When you see respected, leading black members of Congress who win and have enjoyed the respect of their states redistricted out of their office by political manipulation, that gets you mad. That gets you mad. And whatever they may gain in redistricting mischief, let's make sure that they lose where they can't redistrict. Like in Senate races, you can't redistrict a state, and in governor's races, where they can't redistrict a state, if the result of Calais is that Scott Cullum wins the Senate seat in Mississippi because voter turnout blew that election into the Democratic camp, that would be beautiful payback. If Alex Vindman wins his Senate race in Florida because voter turnout exploded in the wake of this political mischief, that would be beautiful payback. So the American people need to know two things. One, the Supreme Court has just again exposed itself as a partisan operation. And two, voters get a vote. And you can redistrict voters and you can suppress voters, but they still get a vote. We have seen voters stand for hours in line because certain people didn't want certain people to vote. But they stayed, and they voted. So let's look for November for the Vindmans and the Columns. And I got to say, if this decision helps us win the Senate, payback's a beauty, isn't it? Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheldon Whitehouse. Truly, we need more champions like him who really understand the gravity of this issue and how it's all interconnected. Like I said, this isn't just about one case. It's not even just about the Supreme Court. Everything that we care about is all interconnected, whether it's reproductive rights or education, as we're about to hear about. This court is interfering with all of it. It's all about hoarding power for one group of people and taking away power from all of us. So next, we are going to hear from Noel Candelaria, who is the Secretary-Treasurer of the National Education Association, NEA. Come on up. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, buenos dias. How are we this morning? All right. I love it. Well, my name is Noel Candelaria. I'm a proud high school special education teacher from El Paso, Texas, a proud son of Mexican immigrants, and the Secretary-Treasurer of the National Education Association, representing 3 million educators and education support professionals from across this country. Now, I bring you greetings in solidarity from NEA President Becky Pringle, Vice President Princess Moss, and the 3 million educators who show up every single day across our nation's classrooms for our students, our families, and communities. Now, I want to start with one simple truth. Educators feel this moment every single day. We feel it when our students come into school hungry. We feel it when educators are working 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. We feel it when communities fight for years just to get the resources that their students deserve, while billionaires and powerful interests seem to always get what they want. Let me be clear. This is not simply a funding problem. This is a power problem. Because when the political system stops responding to ordinary people, working families pay the price. Our students pay the price. Educators pay the price. And our communities pay the price. That is why we are here today. Because the latest attacks on voting rights, those are not isolated decisions. They are part of a larger story of who gets heard in America, who gets represented, and who gets pushed aside. See, as educators, we teach young people every day that democracy means participation, that every voice matters, that every vote counts, and that no one should be silenced because of who they are or where they come from, the color of their skin, or who they love, or how much money they have. But our students are watching us right now. They're watching us, the adults, and they're asking, when democracy is tested, who is standing up? Because here is what educators understand. When you strip the vote, you strip everything else. The right to vote is how working people get a seat at the table. It is how communities fight for strong public schools. It is how families demand safe neighborhoods, affordable housing, health care, fair wages, and yes, dignity. It is how educators and workers organize for contracts, protections, and opportunity. And when those rights are weakened, it becomes easier for the wealthy and powerful to rig the rules for themselves, while everyone else is told to wait their turn. You see, labor and democracy have always been the same fight. The same forces trying to silence black and brown voices are too often the same forces that are attacking us as unions, that are suppressing wages, that are underfunding our public schools and blocking the opportunity for working families. You see, we see the connection, and we refuse to accept politics as usual while communities are being pushed further away from power. See, no more business as usual. Not when families are struggling. Not when communities are fighting to be heard. Not when our democracy itself is on the line. But let me say this too. The people, la gente, we are not powerless. If you look around this park and across the country, look who is here in all of these spaces. It's educators, it's organizers, it's workers, advocates, young people, and community leaders. People who still believe that democracy belongs to all of us. And as history has taught us something powerful, real change has never come from those comfortable with the status quo. It has come from ordinary people who stood together and demanded something better. And to our students that are watching us in this moment, hear me when I say this. The adults who care, we are still here. We are still fighting. We are fighting for your future. We are fighting for your voice. We are fighting for a democracy where every child, where every family, and every community matters. Because the people who show up every day for our kids, for our communities, for our working families, we are done being ignored. No more business as usual. Not in Congress. Not anywhere. Thank you. Let's win in solidarity. Adelante, se puede. Sí se puede. Se puede. Sí se puede. Se puede. Sí se puede. Let's fight and let's win.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. That was great. Thank you, Noel, so much. Thank you, NEA. Thank you to all of our unions who protect our workers, look after our kids, take care of our folks in the hospital. This country would not run if it were not for our unions, which, by the way, you'll never guess, are under attack by this very Supreme Court. So again, all of these issues are deeply, deeply interconnected. There's no mystery as to why the Supreme Court started with gutting the Voting Rights Act back in 2013. They gutted the Voting Rights Act, they took away our levers to challenge authority, and then they started chipping away at our civil rights too, which culminated in a decision called Dobbs, which struck down Roe versus Wade. It was a disastrous opinion, and this court had the gall to say, well, you're not without political power. Meanwhile, the Voting Rights Act basically doesn't exist anymore. But to talk a little bit more about that, we have Melanie Newman, the Chief External Affairs Officer for Planned Parenthood, one of our great champions for reproductive justice and abortion care. Melanie, come on up.
Good morning, D.C. I see some power in the crowd. If you came here to fight for freedom, make some noise. If you came here to stand on business, make some noise. Y'all, we are living through a really hard time, and certainly the hardest of my lifetime. After this Calais decision and states across the South rushing to redraw their maps and dilute black people's votes, this is personal for me. I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Selma, Alabama. I am a daughter of the South. And this absolutely has to be personal for all of us. The Supreme Court is suppressing our votes and calling it justice. They are silencing our voices and calling it liberty. They're crushing our rights and calling it freedom. And everybody here knows this is bigger than any one case. When the people in power substitute their beliefs for our rights, that is tyranny. At the Planned Parenthood Action Fund, we've seen the human toll of this firsthand. It's been almost 4 years since the Supreme Court ripped away our constitutional right to abortion. Patients have lost access to essential care and in some cases, lost their lives. The people who want to control your decisions and your bodies are far from finished. Just last week, patients and providers held their breath as they waited for the Supreme Court to decide whether or not to severely restrict access to medication abortion. Medication abortion is still available for now, but this safe, effective medication is still at risk as that case continues to work its way through the courts. We now have judges who are more interested in imposing their ideology than following the law. And they should not be able to throw our health care into chaos. Our rights are not up for debate. So we're going to keep making our voices heard no matter what the Supreme Court has to say about it. Let's get loud. Together, we're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep marching. We're going to keep fighting. We are going to build the democracy that we, the people, deserve. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Ooh, I'm feeling fired up. No more business as usual. No more business as usual. No more business as usual. They don't get to take away our rights and then come ask for our money. No more business as usual. All of this kind of started with one case in particular. It's called Citizens United. Ever heard of it? If you've heard of it, say boo. Thank you. Thank you so much. It allowed this flood of money to enter our political system, the likes of which we've probably never seen. It has caused chaos across the country. It has made Congress less representative, and it's made our members of Congress more beholden to special interests. And the Supreme Court loves that because those same special interests help them get confirmed and take them on cool little trips on yachts and private jets so that they... I know, and I've never been on a private jet. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, so our next speaker I'm very excited to introduce. He works every day to fight the dark money that has corrupted our political system and bought itself multiple Supreme Court seats. It's Justin Unga, the Vice President of Public Affairs from End Citizens United.
Thank you, Megan. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Make some noise if you think that it is us, we the voters, who should be calling the shots right here in Washington and not billionaires and corporations. Let's hear from you. That's the answer we were looking for. My name is Justin Unga. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the Vice President of End Citizens United. We believe in one simple idea. Our government should work for the people, not billionaire donors or corporate special interests. We are an organization, as Megan said, that was born in response to the Supreme Court's disastrous 2010 ruling that said corporations are people and that money equals free speech. That ruling, as you know, opened the floodgates for unlimited and undisclosed money in our elections, and we're seeing the fruits of that ruling today right here in front of us. The Supreme Court's Citizens United decision meant that wealthy special interests, including big oil and big gas is what I said, big banks, big AI, were now free to spend unlimited amounts in our elections through dark money. Again, the outcome of which is right in front of you. Corporations and billionaires poured billions into our last presidential elections. And this is what they have bought for themselves. A president who has made it his top priority to make his wealthy friends even wealthier. And a Congress led by Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune that was all too willing to pay it forward for their big corporate bosses. We have a government that has been auctioned to the highest bidders, and that means big oil and gas, they get to decide how clean our air is. It means the deep pockets of the gun lobby, they get to decide how safe our schools are. It means the big titans of tech have bought themselves the keys to Congress. The president's marquee bill, what he calls the big, beautiful bill, was the largest transfer of wealth in our nation's history, and it was a transfer in the wrong direction. It was a transfer of wealth to a handful of our nation's most powerful and well-connected. And they did it by stealing health care from the people who needed it the most. That was the payoff that corporate special interests and billionaires had been waiting for ever since the Supreme Court decided that their money was the same as your voice. There is good news here, everybody. The billionaires have spoken and they've used their voice. Now it's time for us to use ours. Listen up, y'all. We used our voices when Elon Musk spent $25 million to buy an election in Wisconsin, and he lost. We used our voices when big AI data centers hooked up with their friends at Turning Point to take over utilities elections in Arizona, and they lost. Hat tip to our friends in Arizona. We will use our voices again this year when we pick up our clipboards and organize. We will organize because this Congress and this court has turned its back on the people they were elected to serve, and they refuse to change. And we will organize because if this Congress doesn't change, then we have to change this Congress. To the politicians who are coming for our freedoms, our reproductive rights, our right to be safe at school, our right to love and be who we are, to the politicians who are coming for our right to representation, this is for you. If you come for us, we, the voters, will come for you at the ballot box on election day. Look around you, everybody. They may be the money. Look around. I see teachers. I see Americans of every stripe. They may be the money, but we are the future. So let's be loud, let's be organized, and let's go out there and get ourselves a new Congress, a new president, and yes, let's reform the court. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you so much to End Citizens United, too. They've done such incredible work trying to get money out of our politics. It's really an uphill battle, but we can do it because of all of you being involved, fighting back. The reason that they attack our voting rights is because they know how important it is to vote. A lot of people kind of get down on voting like, oh, yeah, just vote harder. But yeah, we should all be voting really hard. That is step one towards achieving a more just and equitable system. That's why the Supreme Court is constantly attacking our voting rights. They understand how important it is. And I know everybody here understands that too. There's so much we've learned about our democracy over the last 10 years or so. I think a lot of us believed, a lot of us learned in school, probably from a sensational unionized teacher, that we have a system of checks and balances, that if somebody in our system does something wrong, one of the other branches will step in and address it. As it turns out, our system is kind of held together by a dream and like bubble gum. We have to be the ones who make sure that it works every single day, because nobody over there is going to do what we want unless we tell them that that's what we want. And if they don't do what we want, we have to find better people. And that's what I think we're seeing right now. And I think that this is an opportunity, this ruling, and not just Calais, all of these rulings chipping away at our rights, making us all second, third, fourth class citizens, that is going to piss people off. It already has. We already see the effect that these rulings are having on people. Many people think, these decisions happen in a vacuum. I have a coworker, I have a colleague named Contravius. He lives in the district that was erased by Calais. This happens to real people. On Tuesday, he had a congressional district. On Wednesday, he didn't. And it was all because of the Supreme Court. That is the power that they hold over our lives, but it does not have to be that way. We can fight back, and we will. And it starts by coming to things like this. I appreciate you all so much for being here. Please, another round of applause for our incredible, incredible speakers. They did. I feel so fired up to fight back. If you want to stay involved in this fight, please go to ourpowernow.org. You can sign our petition really demanding a plan from Congress to hold this court accountable. They should not be able, they should not be able to take away our rights and then come groveling to Congress demanding some of our tax money. They should have to answer questions about what is going on over there. Who is paying for these trips? Why are you ruling against normal, regular, everyday people? They need to be held accountable. This can't just be business as usual. No more business as usual. If you hear me, make some noise. No more business as usual. You want to come up? Hey, I was just talking about Contravius. He's here. He came here from Louisiana. He's going to tell you a little bit about what it's like to be in the sights of the Supreme Court's attack on the black and brown vote. Contravius Coleman, come on up, bud.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Contravius Coleman, and I'm from a place where the state's population is 1/3 black. I'm from a place with good food, a diverse culture, a place literally like no other. I'm from a place where on Saturday night in our capital city, you can go on either sides of the town and see blue and gold or purple and gold streets that signify the immense power and pride behind two major universities. I'm from a place where on Sundays we migrate south or go to our front room couch and we stand behind our black and gold. I'm from Louisiana, where you can truly have beautiful experiences, but you will wake up living some harsh realities. One reality is understanding that Louisiana is ground zero for both good and bad. Louisiana is world famous for our cuisine, as well as our incarceration rate and the lack of progression towards a more stress-free environment. Like everyone, we have our own set of issues, but a few can arguably be traced back to one thing, and that's the Supreme Court. Whether it's striking regulations or weakening environmental protections, our problems can be sourced. For an institution that's supposed to be impartial and apolitical, we continue to see biasness in unconventional areas, from justices appearing on political shows to allegations of financial wrongdoing. Accountability seems to be something that is lacked in said institutions. Our judicial institution was created to ensure equal justice amongst all people and not to defend and aid one single person. Things seem bad because they are. As rent continues to rise and groceries become more expensive, peaceful protesting can sometimes be considered as rioting, and community unification can be seen as taboo. When black people move to a particular area, they don't deserve representation, or at least that's what we can infer based off the Louisiana versus Calais decision. The Republican-led supermajority in the Louisiana legislature today is the same legislature that praised themselves when they created the second black district. This is the same legislature that praised themselves once they took it away. This coordinated attack on voting rights is being executed by the Louisiana legislature, endorsed by Donald Trump, and affirmed by the Supreme Court. At this unprecedented time, it's easy for us to feel powerless. It's easy for us to disassociate and not worry about certain things. Their plan is to divide and conquer. As we see the trickle-down effects of the Calais decision, some states will continue to roll back voting rights and further harm black communities. At a time with so much turmoil, remember, we are not a powerless people. The Declaration of Independence says that when the government becomes destructive to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it is the right of the people, the duty, to throw off such government. Black people in Louisiana may feel defeated because on a random Wednesday, we learned that we'd have less reflective representation. With a broken system, weak leaders, unresponsive court, and an irrational president, we the people need to demand a plan. We need to demand a plan from Congress. We need to stand together and dare to be different. We need to demand accountability across all three branches of government. As the nation watches Louisiana, we need to focus on the aspect that there is no more business as usual. Use this time to create a plan, organize, and demand real action from those who say that they want to represent us. More examples like the Calais decisions are on the way, and I hope and pray that one day we can fix this thing we call the government, because if not, this cycle will continue. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much, Contravious. Keep it going for Contravious, everybody. Keep it going for all of our speakers. Again, these decisions don't just happen in a vacuum. I think the court wants to believe that they can just do whatever and it doesn't really matter, but it does matter. It has personally affected Contravious and everybody who lives in his community. Now, their vote has been diluted, and they're getting shoved into districts that don't match their community, don't match their demographics, and don't match their political ideologies. This is all by design to kind of crack these communities and dilute their power by forcing them into Republican majority districts. Now it will be immeasurably more difficult for Contravious or people living in his district to find representation that actually represents them, and that's what the Supreme Court was hoping would happen. I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker. She has been a champion for democracy for years. She's an incredible organizer, and she is now representative from the New Jersey District 11. That's right. Everybody, Representative Ana Lilia Mejia.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, my people. How y'all feeling? I am fired up and ready to go. Let's go. Y'all, so one, thank you so much for your activism in this moment of very clear, not only corruption and a rigging of our economy, but also this rigging and this destabilization of our democracy. And those two things go hand in hand. And working class people like us, union folk like us, people of good conscience like us understand what's actually at play here. I often talk about, first and foremost, I'm an organizer. Do not be confused with, I don't have my lapel pin on. But do not be confused. An organizer first, an organizer always. And as an organizer, I can see that this is not some abstract political debate, but this is a fight to ensure that our communities have the fullness of representation and that we have the option to fully participate in a participatory, in a republic, in a democratic republic. I know that across many, many communities, our families have been economically falling behind. I know that people in my district are house rich and cash poor. I know that people in my community are drowning in credit card debt. Y'all see that too? I know that healthcare has become more unaffordable. I know that housing is impossible for many of us to navigate. I know that education is increasingly out of reach for our communities. The building blocks that allow us to thrive are becoming harder and harder for all of us to be able to access. And one of the reasons that this is happening is that our political system, our government, the way in which we decide who will make the conditions, who will shape the conditions that we all have to live under, that the system that we use for representation has been corrupted. Has it not? See, for decades, powerful interests have worked together to rig the rules of our democracy so that they can protect themselves from public accountability. See, an authoritarian, I hate standing behind. Stop. See, an authoritarian is a corrupt politician who has gotten a taste for stealing from the American people. And they want to desperately stay out of jail. I'm talking to you, Trump cutout. And oligarchs and special interests and these big moneyed fat cats, see, they have developed a taste from stealing from their workers, from stealing from their customers, from stealing from the American people. And they want to keep the grift going. And so these two entities have formed an unholy alliance. This ridiculous, caustic, terrible, detrimental alliance in which they have a common enemy, and that is an informed electorate. And so when we see the erosion of voting rights, it's coupled with a rigged economy because the way in which they prevent the rules from coming for them, the way in which they can keep the grift going is ensuring that we do not have a political voice to stop them. That's the game. That's the play. That's the strategy. And I'm not making it up. History tells us this. History tells us that when these two forces join together, they seek to crush the political power of the many so that they can continue to enrich the few. And so what we must do is protect our democratic institutions, is ensure that we uplift our political power and voice, and that we stop and we name the corruption on both sides. That is what we are called to do in this moment, and not just for us, although we must, because we are at the precipice, we are at a crossroads, my friends, in this America. And the time is now to take bold action. But we're not just doing it for us, we're doing it for 7 generations out, my friends. 7 generations out are dependent on your activism. They are dependent on you showing up today. They are dependent on you tweeting, talking, posting about it tomorrow. They are dependent on you being bold enough to talk to your neighbors and your friends and your work colleagues and say, you know what? What's impolite is to not talk about politics. What is impolite is to not speak about what is happening to this generation and next. And so let's be better. Let's be more than good descendants, people who benefited from the struggle of Fannie Lou Hamer, of John Lewis, of Ella Baker. Let's be more than just descendants of those who struggled to ensure that we could have a voice. Let's be good ancestors. Let's be good ancestors for those who will come later, who will say, in a moment in which a despotic authoritarian and his cowardly lackeys attempted to revert to, frankly, pre-Civil War or Jim Crow era level of politics, that we stood up and we stood strong and we said, oh, hell no. And I'll leave with this. The conditions that were necessary to usher in 100 years of Jim Crow are in effect right now. The conditions that were required to strip everyone, because it's not just black voters that are impacted by this injustice. See, because the harm may start in a community, but that cancer spreads. That cancer spreads, and it is on us to fight it tooth and nail everywhere. See, the conditions like an ideologically captured Supreme Court, like a president and an administration willing to use state-sanctioned violence to silence opposition, the curtailment of the franchise, stripping people of the right to vote. Those conditions and that unholy alliance between money and the despotic, those conditions are what ushered in 100 years of Jim Crow. But history tells us, see, history doesn't have to repeat, but history must inform us. And what history tells us is at the face of those conditions, our incredible ancestors, they did a thing. They organized. So I leave you with that, my people. Let's be organizers like we have been called to be, like we are, like the moment requires. I thank you for your activism. I thank you for your organizing. And I am so proud to be in this community. I will leave it here. I am grateful. But remember, when we fight, say it like you mean it. When we fight, thank you, and I hand it.
Thank you so much. Okay, New Jersey. Let's keep it going. Representative Mejia, representing the great 11th District of New Jersey. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for fighting for our democracy. Again, I want to thank all of you who are here for coming. OurPowerNow.org is the website where you can sign the petition demanding a plan from our members of Congress. What are you going to do about this court? What are you going to do about our democracy? How are you going to address the issues that we're all facing every day? That's what we need to figure out. That's what we need to fight for. Thanks to everybody who is watching the live stream. Thank you for being here. OurPowerNow.org. I want to thank Sheldon Whitehouse and all of our speakers today. Please, please stay with us in this fight, and thank you all so much for being here. I also want to thank Buttercup the dog and all the dogs that fight every day for our democracy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have an excellent afternoon.